Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings. Where's everybody at? Everybody probably at work. I'd like to say peace and blessings to my fellow Israelites. Just want to do a quick hitter today, as my brother Banya said. Like to give a shout out to Salt of the Earth, brother Banya, brother Earth, brother Yashadik, brother Hal Goodwin, brother Cleo, brother Elijah. Like to give a shout out to them brothers. Get a shout out to the chat. Y'all be bringing that word. So if y'all come in today, because right now there ain't nobody in. If y'all come in today, I'm just doing a quick hitter, and this is more like a provoking thought. And if y'all look at the heading and what we're gonna talk about, who fixed the prophecy of Gad? Shalom, shalom, sword. That's the heading is gonna be who fixed the prophecy of Gad? Do Native Americans or the Zulu in South Africa? So I'm gonna need y'all's help. This is just a provoking thought. I'm gonna read a couple of scriptures on the prophecy of Gad and what happened to Gad, and gonna go through some small, very slim history on the Native American and on what happened in South Africa. So I'm waiting on a few more people to come in. I'd like to give a shout out to the Most High, Yahaya or Ohaya, and the Messiah, Yahweh Shai, Yeshua. So that's a very interesting topic, I believe, is who fixed the prophecy of the tribe of Gad? Do the Native Americans or do the Zulus of South Africa? If y'all ever seen that movie Shaka Zulu, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have. Have y'all ever seen the movies about the Native Americans? I'm pretty sure y'all have. So who fits that prophecy as in what it says about them? We're going to read these scriptures and we're going to look in it, and just off the top of the head, go through some just small history. I'm not going to go deep in it because this is like a provoking thought, but the next time we're really going to get in it. And it's something that we should do, I say, in a lot of our tribes is over there, I believe over there in Africa, or wherever they at, but I believe mostly they're over there in the area of Africa, according to Isaiah chapter 11, the Northern Kingdom. I think that we should look at each one and look at the gifts, the prophecy about them, starting in Genesis 49 and what's going to happen to them during the end time. I think it's, that would be pretty good to look at that. Because remember, when we go into the wilderness, we're going to, see these different tribes. I believe, according to scripture, he's going to take us back from where we came from, Ezekiel chapter 20, he said, I'm going to lure y'all. Well, not lure y'all. That's Hosea chapter 2. He said, I'm going to lure y'all to the wilderness. Shalom, shalom, Jason Campfire. So Ezekiel chapter 20, he said, I'm going to bring you into the wilderness and speak comfortable to y'all, to Israel. So, we're going back to the wilderness, and I think majority of people would say the wilderness is some part of Africa. The kingdom, I think a lot of us agree, probably in Africa, where we was at anyway. So, I watched an interesting video earlier today. A guy, his name Going Black to Africa. He put some pretty good stuff out, and how the video he played within his video was explaining that the continent of Africa is where our homeland really is at. And when you look at the scriptures, it says that we will be left, our Jerusalem will be left desolate. Basically nothing there, probably, a footing or whatever. It's totally different from what we see over there, where they call Jerusalem. But anyway, good. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hope y'all having a good day. Should cut the air conditioner on, but I think I'll be all right. So I hope y'all having a good day today. We're gonna get into it, and the topic is who fit most closely to the prophecy of Gad? Do the Native Americans over here in America, or do the Zulus of South Africa? Now, everybody know the history over here in America, how the English and the Spanish Spaniards came over and basically killed off, tricked the Native American, took their land, stole the land, killed most of them off. We know that Cortez killed a lot of down there in South America. What was their name? Down there, the Mayans, and I can't think of another ones. But anyway, he killed them off um, basically completely. I ain't gonna say all, but he killed a lot of Native American, true Native Americans off. So when you look at the history of the Native Americans, it's more as a diminished. They're being down, they're being completely almost wiped out. Except we got black people claim to be Native Americans. When you look at the Aztecs, when you look at where they came from, they came over here. We can see the same statues they found in South America. You can find them in Ethiopia. So Kush did come over here. Did Kush speak Hebrew? Possible, yeah, because Hebrew was the main language. Even though he split them up, we know Kush and Shem stay near each other. So the Kushites, we know that's where Abraham was at. So of course they could have spoke Hebrew. Right there could have been the main language. When you look and see in Genesis 11 how he split them up and basically populated the whole earth, for what it says. So the Kushites came over here, and we know as them as the Aztecs. So they could have spoke Hebrew languages. So when people say, "Oh, I see Hebrew writing in Mexico," that means they was Israelites. That's not true, because Hebrew was a main language back then during that time. And so when Cush and Shem stay near each other, and also they did mix, we got evidence of Abraham living in Cushite land. So, that's where he came from, basically. So they spoke a language something similar or almost the same. So to say all that, when you look at the Native Americans, we notice that we see more Asian type of Native Americans also came over here, if y'all know the history. A lot of history said they walked through the Bering Strait. Some people said they, came through Alaska. Well, that's basically the same thing, I guess. Alaska, whatever. And they hold claims to being the first Native American. A lot of them, these so-called Asians, do. And so when you look at the history down in Mexico, a lot of stuff they do come from Asia. So this is why, a lot of Israelites, including myself, don't believe that white-skinned Mexicans are Israelites. But I'm not going to even go there today. Or that 12 tribes chart I have no way in the world believing that that's somehow true. But we're going to talk about the prophecy of Gad. And we, like I said, over here, we know a lot about Native Americans, what happened to them. But what happened in South Africa? We know that who started the Zulu nation? Shaka Zulu. We know that. He was born around 1787, died around 1828. I think it's around September 4th, 1828, somewhere near that. Shalom, shalom, Apostle Curtis. And Shaka Zulu, he did something very important down there in South Africa. He enlarged South Africa by 2 million square miles. That's very important. Also, we know that Great Britain came over around 1875. It was a course of 5-6 wars. I think around 5 wars, 1875 to 1879, around about 4 wars, 4 or 5 wars, hoping that. And they finally overcame the Zulu nations in 1879. In June of 18 in June the 18th, matter of fact, June the 4th, 1879, that's when most of the Zulus, the Angolians and Zulus, 15,000 men was murdered, destroyed. So a troop overcame the Zulu nation. Also, we have in the Native American, as Cortez and his men came, and they overcame the Native Americans too. So who fits? Which one fits the prophecy of Gad most closely? You know? Now I know y'all know history too, so don't be put it up in the chat. Help me out. This is the thing that we're looking at, and I'm just doing a small review over the next time I'm really gonna get in it. So let's go to Genesis chapter 49. Genesis chapter. Shalom, shalom. Hey, you can't be spelling the beans. Hold on. We got to get you in here. You spilling the beans. Hold on. Let me let me get you in here right quick. I think that might be Brother No, it might be Brother Benya. Or you can't be spilling the beans right quick, man. Let's see. Let's get you in here. I'm gonna put the thing up because I know you guys give information. I'm trying to see where I can get this. Put this. What's the end? But it is a close call. I mean, I ain't gonna say close, but Lord, somebody calling me. I'm going to put the chat. I'm gonna put my email in the chat right here. So if anybody want to come in right quick, they can come in. I'm not gonna be on here long. All right, putting it in right now. For wow. Oh look, y'all, I messed that up. So we want to find out, according to scriptures, who fit that prophecy. That might be Brother Cleo up in there. I don't know which one is y'all, but who fit that prophecy most closely? It's really something that need to be looked at, and we should do this about all the tribes. It'd be something that very interesting study. So we get in the wilderness, we do have some sense of, all right. All right. So let's go to Genesis 49. Genesis 49. Let's go here. Old school style. Got my Bible, y'all. Let me see. See what is said about Gad, Genesis 49. Verse 19. I'm just go right where it's talking about Gad. Very good chapter. Check it out, y'all. Get a chance to read the whole book. Genesis 49, verse 19. It says, "A Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the end." Okay. Now, all right, Brother Banyard, that's you say get ready for work. All right, shalom, brother. So, the prophecy of Gad, it said a troop shall overcome Gad. But at the end, Gad will overcome the troop. Now we know the Native American was overcame by Cortez, by the Pilgrims. So shalom, 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 brother.
Hello, Mark. How's it going, bro?
Pretty good, pretty good. I've been looking at Gad, and I said, you know what? That's a good comparison because you got two troops, two nations that was overcome by somewhat a troop. We know South Africa was, and we know, what happened over here in America.
Well, you know what, man? I got a brother that we conversed with, and he went over to Israel, and then we kind of fell out of touch with him. But before he left us with a real extensive lesson on the Native Americans and things like that. And he went into several books on the Olmecs and the Toltecs and how they came to be in the mines and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But long story short, like the Native Americans here, they're not Gad. They're not at all. In fact, even the Olmecs and the Toltecs, they had some type of Hebrew connection, but I believe they were Hamites, them too. But it's too many variables that you got to consider when you're talking about if they're Gad or not. One, they didn't overcome no troops yet either. You know,
Brother Banya, you taking the fun out of it. Yeah, they didn't. You're right. They didn't, but they was overcame by I wouldn't say a troop. It didn't have like a war type of setting. It was just like taking your land. If you look at what happened to Native Americans, we look at the Pilgrims, we look at Cortez, we look at Christopher Columbus. It was more raping the women and blah blah. This, you know how that was. But when we look what happened in South Africa, the Zulu nation at the time, the Anglo-Zulu nation, we see it was a war started around by 1874, 75, and ended in 1879, and they actually was fighting. It was a war. It was troops fighting one another.
Well, that's the thing. The Zulu nation, they had one particular group of troops come upon them. The Native Americans, they were dealing with just an invasion of other countries, period, coming over here. Yeah. So they wasn't in a war with any one particular people or one particular confederacy or army. They were fighting against all kinds of settlers coming over here. European more likely, but none those same Europeans, they were fighting amongst each other themselves.
For the land. You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
You're exactly right. And also when we look at it, says that it says something very important. And we know a lot of camp guys that try to go in the strong G. It says that blesses is he, that's Deuteronomy 33, verse 20. Blesses is he that enlarges Gad. We know the camp guys that try to say blesses in the one of the definitions mean foolish. So we know in context that couldn't mean blesses if the foolish then enlarges Gad. That don't make sense. But it says blesses he that enlarges Gad. Now we know the Native American was diminished. They wasn't enlarged. We know that. Also, we know what did Shaka Zulu do during the time that he reigned? He enlarges South America 2 million square miles.
Oh, you mean Africa? Yeah.
Yeah, South America. Yeah. I mean, South Africa. I'm sorry, South Africa. He enlarges South Africa 2 million square miles. This is what he did. And so the prophecy right now to me go more towards the Zulu nation and also it gives a description on how they look. Now we also now I know some people can have an argument on Native Americans stuff they used to wear, but when you look at if you look at the movie of Shaka Zulu, I
Yeah,
mean, script, ain't that something?
yeah, they wore the same thing, but also the historical references of Shaka, how he went throughout Africa, South Africa, conquering other tribes and enlarging
Mm-hmm.
Africa in that manner way also. You
Yeah,
know,
you did. It did, and also, matter of fact, let me go there. It says, "And of Gad, he said, Blessed is he that enlarges Gad. He dwells as a lion, tears the arm which with the crown of the head."
hmm
So when you look at the horns they would have coming out,
hmm
oh man,
yeah.
it's almost in the way they look. They look like a lion. Their armor and everything they wore back in them days.
Mhm.
Um, the Zulu Nation almost fit. I mean, to me, it fits to the T. So that
I
just
believe circumcision was a part of their customs too.
who was that? Yeah.
The
Mhm.
Zulu Nation, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of different things.
you're right. It is circumcision. Even they got a Zulu language today. I wonder. I don't know. Is that got some Hebrew in it? I just wonder. I don't know. But it's something that it's something worth looking for. I was just doing a little look, not too going so far into it. I was just reading these two scriptures and doing a comparison. One thing I would say is that I don't know, because see, they say from my research, and like I said, I don't want to say it completely. They said the Native American, the real Native American, really was almost diminished as in wiped out. Now, if that's true, uh, they also remember the scripture says that at the end they shall overcome the truth.
hmm
We know Native Americans stand out here trying to get more land, even where it was so-called Native American. I really don't think they're the real ones, but anyway, they trying to get more land in America and more money. I have never heard of them trying to overcome, the Europeans.
Well, the brother Eric was talking to me about a certain situation that's going on with the natives over here, or the Native Americans, and he was saying that they're taking away the land from them now, saying that they don't have any claim to it because they can't prove it through lineage. So they're actually taking away
Oh,
land from Native Americans. Now, at first I was like, is this happening to like? I thought it was like happening to the $5 Indians, the Europeans who were purchasing documents or whatever to just say that they were Native American in order to get land. But
mhm.
apparently, this is happening to Native Americans, and they're saying that they can't prove that they're actually the indigenous people of this land.
Are you talking about the black ones that was with the Seminole Indians? Is that what one you talking about?
We talking about the ones that
Wow.
yeah, they're saying like artifacts and all that other stuff don't even matter.
Well, this is the thing too. If you notice in the scriptures, it don't say they was going to be on another continent. That's one thing I know a lot of people don't think about. It don't say that. It tells you that you don't say they're going to be on another continent. It just well, I don't know if it's just not saying that don't mean they. I don't believe Native Americans are gad, but I'm not saying I'm trying to look at the evidence and just put it together. But if you notice in the scripture, it never says that they're going to be on another continent, but it does say that they will overcome the truth at the end.
Mhm.
And we know what happened started in 1994 when Nelson Mandela was in prison and his wife made an uproar. They started killing the British and they said, let me out, give me my people back. And all the British left. I mean, it fits it to the T. Now, I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Yeah, it fits it to the T.
Yeah.
And now, but this is the thing what's going on from what I looked at in South Africa. they allow white people having well, Europeans having a certain part where they could just only have Europeans. But I really think they starving them out. To me, in a way, a lot of Europeans are getting ran out because they basically starving them. But they do have communities where only Europeans supposed to go to. Now that I don't understand in South Africa.
Yeah, well, the brother How had made that community post, and it was somewhat talking about how they actually got their own areas of control in certain parts of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I mean we've seen videos of you know people that's within Africa still working for them and being mistreated and things like that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I honestly I don't know how it comes about when you don't. You know what I mean, when
You know, took
you the
yeah, country
majority.
back and still let them. That's crazy.
Because think about it, bro. Like we're the minority in this country, right?
Yeah.
Yet we've caused a lot of change to happen within this place. You know, being a minority and standing up and fighting. So it's strange to me to see certain things happening over there where our people are supposed to be the majority. You know, so I'm like, man, like where's the spirit of our people at over there? You know, but then you look back over here and they say our people are more destroyed in the minds over here, but I don't think that's really accurate, man, because you have to be really destroyed to be the majority of people over there and still being ruled over, you know. And I know the government and everything is corrupt over there and things like that, but at the end of the day, you know, if people was to rise up, it wouldn't be too much they can do about it other than I mean, civil war and stuff like that would break out. You know.
Yeah, that's a great point because I used to work with some Africans and they was from Niger. This is where they was from. And you talking about lost. Oh my goodness. These brothers will make you almost fall down. That's how lost they was. They are so lost. You're right. They might have enslaved, but they did enslave South Africans. Well, what they call South Africans. But Niger, the people from Niger, man, I'm here to tell you, they think Jesus is the European. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
All this, they are completely lost. And
Hmm.
they are from Niger. So, a lot of people from Niger is our people. I'm like, looking
Hmm.
at them like,
Yeah,
what?
you got the Igbo and
Yeah, they are completely, but they was Muslims too. And
hmm
of course, they tried to debate me, and I just, hey, I went all in on them because I asked them, do they believe in Psalms? And they said, yeah, they believe in the book of Psalms. And so when they said that, it really, that was right on time because the book of Psalms proves that, the Ishmaelites was going to have, was one of the nations that's going to take the remembrance from us to who we are.
hmm
And they, then they like, oh, I don't believe that. I said, well, you just said you believe in Psalms because they was, Muslims. But yeah, you made a good point. They are, even though we've been taken from our land enslaved, these juggers been colonized to the point they worse off than we are. So I can now understand why. But in Zimbabwe, it's not like that. It's different. And I don't understand why that's so much different because it's really close to each other. But Zimbabwe don't put up with that mess.
it's really about indoctrination. That's all it really is about. You
Yeah.
know, a vast majority of people that say they're Christians, they don't really have an understanding of the Bible. You
Mm,
know,
you're right.
I mean, you look in there, you can find Christians in the Bible a total of three times, two times singular, one
Mm.
time plural, right? But you can find Israel over 3,000 times in the book. So I mean,
Israel. Yeah, 2,507 times in the book. I always say that to Christians. Christians
Exactly.
only mentioned 3 times. It was added.
Exactly. So I mean, where's the validity of being a Christian if you know, and why when you ask the average person what kind of book is the Bible and they say Christian book,
Yeah,
you it's because of indoctrination. So I mean, when you're dealing with these people from other countries, a lot of times they want to act like we so far removed out of our culture, but they want to put themselves above us, but they dealt with the same stuff we dealt with. They dealt with enslavement. They dealt with apartheid. They dealt with different levels of oppression and denial of information. But when they come over here, they want to act like we're so far removed from understanding. You know, and that's not true. Especially in this day and age, it's all information is a click a button away, a button click away. So if someone's seeking and they truly want to know, then they, more than likely they got all the information that they need right there at their fingertips. So this whole thing now how we look at each other, diaspora versus those who haven't been scattered, that right there needs to be dealt with.
but you know what? When you think about it, as I'm saying, thinking when you was talking, it's really bad off when you in your land and you still basically enslaved. Then you out of your land and you're enslaved. Because when you out of your land, you expect to be enslaved and you taken from your land. But when
Mhm.
you living in your land and you working from the people,
Mhm.
that's crazy, man. And that's what the Messiah and them was doing during the time when he was walking earth. They were in their land working for the Romans.
Well, that just shows you
Yeah.
what Christianity lost because a lot of these Southern Baptist preachers they don't want to admit that we got an issue with racism and white supremacy because they for that stuff, right?
Mhm.
Like how they in their land and they going through the same thing we went through because white supremacy is spread throughout the earth, like the scripture said, the beast sitteth on many waters, you
Mhm.
know. So wherever you go in this land, there's some form of white supremacy being pushed or propagated. And even by people that aren't white.
Yeah,
That same mindset is being pushed in order to have our people going through things, even if it's not by white people.
you're right.
The same idea is being propagated. You
Mhm.
know.
You're right. Brother E, out there
Yo,
in the sunlight.
yo, what's good, man?
Shalom,
What's
shalom.
up, bro?
Shalom. What's going on?
Doing a comparison. Who fit the description, the prophecy of Gad, Native Americans or South Zulu, South Africans? And
Oh, okay.
look what's on the board, y'all. This is a good thing right here. Look at that. Hades was even though it was enslaved, they ended up defeating the French. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, yeah, I believe, but I don't believe they're particularly bad though.
Nah, I don't know.
But they did most definitely defeat the French. But now they're going through their own little thing where because they're over there, they got to deal with sanctions and things like that, and deal with you
Mhm.
know issues with commerce and corruption within the government. Then you got the other people on the other side of the islands that's really just so much against our brothers and sisters that migrated over into that island. You know,
Think about that, brother Eric.
What particular are you speaking on?
Who fit the description of um the prophecy of Gad, the Native Americans, or the Zulu South Africans?
What it you talking about from Genesis 49?
49 and Deuteronomy 33 and 20, when it says I just read that exactly what it's.
Truth shall overcome them, but in the last he shall overcome.
I think he paused on it. There you go.
What is this?
A troop should overcome
What is,
Gad, but at the last they shall overcome the troop. In Genesis and Deuteronomy 33, it says, "Blessed is he that enlarges Gad."
wow. That's something, man, for me. It's hard for me to pinpoint, but I would say if we were making a comparison, I would say that the Zulu tribes, South African tribes probably fit that characteristically more than the Native Americans.
Yeah.
Because if you want to talk about the Native Americans, who are the true Native Americans, so to speak. You know what I mean? But that's just my thought on that. Nothing to etch in stone, though.
Hey, going back to what you was talking about the other day, bro. Could you explain that when you was talking about the Native Americans over here, land being taken from them, and they want
Oh yeah,
based off of their lineage?
yeah. They you know how the Native Americans, a lot of them are on what you call reservations. So a lot of these lands where they are lands that is pretty much reserved for them. But a lot of them are getting put out off of their reservation.
Oh man,
Who is this guy right here? You see that Wesley Curry the second? It is time spoken. Jesus Christ. This is Yahuwah, January 4th, 2003. Jesus never said sad and delicious. That
Hey, hold on. The brother Eric cut off, man. Let him finish. I gotta go.
You back on work? You back
on this guy, man?
Yeah,
You were
I mean, that was
just nobody talking about no Jesus on him. What is he talking about? But go ahead, brother.
When you were talking about the reservations you cut out.
Yeah, that was just it. I'm as a matter of fact, I'm gonna try to bring that out. But yeah, that's it. A lot of them can't really prove their lineages. Only a few of them, the ones that can prove their lineages, they have a small amount of DNA to trace them back to those territories. So I thought that was kind of funny, if we talking about Native American.
Yeah.
You know what though, bro? The brother froze again, but you know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
I'm thinking a lot of these people we call Native Americans, they migrated over here themselves, but they wasn't indigenous to the spot, because like I was saying, what the brother was doing the lessons, you had the Olmecs, you had the Toltecs, you had the Mayans, and these Native Americans may have not even been derivatives of these people. They might have been like Japhetic clans that came over here, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's a thing. A lot of people don't understand that these brothers was all black at first. But yes, they probably was Japhetic, or they could have been, Ham. Like I know the statues they found in South America that's in Ethiopia today. Same statues. The head statues. And you notice behind every now and then, not every now and then, by chance, I seen a video. They showed the behind the statue. It got dreads.
Oh,
yeah, it got dreads. So they don't show that. So I think the Native Americans to me was Hamites, Aztecs, Cushites. I meant it's a story. I need to find that, but it's a story about the Prince of Kush, and he wanted to travel through all the way to the west. And I think that right there is what it was. What happened? Of course, they killed. I don't know if they killed him off, but I think
there's a lot of different reasons about Japheth. You know what I mean?
yeah.
A lot of people think like the Europeans are just strictly Japheth. And I mean, if you do ascribe to Jasher, you believe that the Edomites and the Japhetic clans became one. But I actually don't believe that Esau came out white.
No.
Or the way or the way he quote unquote looks today. I believe that happened to him through the mixture of other nations, with like the Canaanites that were stricken with leprosy, and Horites that were of the fallen one. I think that happened, and then other nations that Esau mixed with took on that lack of melanin through mixing with Esau. Because Japheth, Shem, Ham, and Japheth are all black men. I mean, so I'm like, okay, people say Japheth is the white man is Japheth, and then they argue because Esau and Jacob were brothers that they had to be black. It's like, okay, well, Japheth also came from a black person. So if you're gonna argue that, then you're gonna have to reconcile how he got like that also. But I don't even believe that Esau came out like Omar Epps, and then Esau came out like Tom Cruise. I don't believe that.
Yeah, he could have came out red, but I don't believe he came out white. I remember Genesis 36. Genesis 36. It tells you who he mixed with. He mixed with the Horites, like you said. And we know that the Canaanites mixed with the Horites too, and we know what happened to them. And that was a prophecy that they was going to be wiped out as a people, as what they used to look like, basically. So yes, it goes hand in hand. So when we look at all of these things, and when you get to the Native Americans, you got like three different groups coming over in America. So the problem is, who was the first one here? That's something we don't know, really. I guess you have to.
You know what? I'm gonna post that brother's lesson on our page. Yeah. He went into it. It's a long lesson. It's like 7-8 hours. So they going into the history in the books and stuff like that. But they without a shadow of a doubt, man, they proved that Mexicans and Native Americans are not Israelites.
The thing with Mexicans, what gets me is this. Let's say it's a possible. Let's say if they was Israelites, right? And you got hard proof according to the Bible. You don't have hard, but the thing with them, every time you meet some Mexican, don't nobody show you somebody look like George Lopez that strapped on their backs, enslaved, chains around their neck. They always got to go to another people. But you notice we never change. You notice that? Why can't we look at ourselves and go back looking at this and we still look the same? Some of us might be lighter, but we tell that's our people. But all of a sudden, when you come to the other people, they got to go to a total another people. And I asked I said, can you show me where y'all was enslaved? Well, you know what? The Indians, this is what they say. The Indians was their people and they was enslaved. I said, okay, who was your father? Well, we got fathers from Spaniard, but they're just completely Spaniard, Spain and Portugal. But what I'm saying is that I talk to them all the time. And I said I'm going to do this when I find somebody that really can speak good English, and I'm going to record it. And these guys know their heritage. I'm telling you. The ones I talk to, they'll tell you straight up, they can go from the grandfather all the way back to Spain. Easy like that. They know who they are, and they're happy about it. And so whenever I talk to them, that's what they do. And I'll be like, wow.
You know what? I try to get into those type of discussions because I don't have the complete history on it. So if somebody says something to me, I wouldn't be able to or repeat it. So I kind of stated it on the message or whatnot, but just off to your point, there's a lot of information out there that can't be proven, and the same thing can't prove.
Yeah, and also this is another thing. People, it was just like if let's say if Native American is gay, right? But we know what happened when the white man came. But see, like when we was enslaved, even though our people got raped, our grandmothers got raped by the Europeans, but they went back into their people. They didn't. They didn't. They didn't go back into Europeans. Some of them might have did. And that's why you can't tell they are people. But then you do the blood work, you can see some of our blood in it. But what I'm saying is that our blood, like if the Native Americans was gagged, there's no way in the world a person gonna tell me that when the Europeans came over, they said, "Hey, Native American, I want you to sleep with my women. I'm taking your land." That's not. I can't. Or I'm enslave you, but you can sleep with my women. I don't want nobody to sleep with my woman, and I'm not enslaving them. I just can't see that. So, but and that's the thing that with people when they say that, they gotta prove that. Now with us, they raped our women. We could, our fathers and our mothers are married. They'll come and tape and rape them, get them pregnant, whatever. And then, like I said, they had the light skins in the house and dark skins outside. But later on, they would keep reproduction within Israel. I could say that now. Or a long time ago, I would say within black. But and we still, even though we might come out lighter, but like I said, dark skinned people can have albinos. We come out lighter, we come out darker, we come out all kinds of different complexions. But we know our people. So before we even recognized that we was Israel, before, it's not no way. I never looked at somebody like George Lopez and say, you know what, that's my brother. I never looked at that. I never even thought of that. It's not even crossed my mind. And this is what I did do when I was used to work for Coca-Cola. It was this guy worked in the shop, and I came in there one day, and he spoke Spanish, spoke it fluent. I said, "Hey man, where you from?" He said, "Nicaragua." I think I'm saying it right. I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Dude, yeah." I said, "Dude, you look just like me." He said, "We the same people. I just speak Spanish. The boat landed in the South America. We the same people." Okay. This is way before I knew I was an Israelite. But what he was saying, we are the same black people. And so that's the problem I have. Like you got Native Americans where camp guys claiming they gay and they look totally different. Now you got some so-called Native Americans black as me or darker. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they say they're Native Americans. I don't know. You got some of them too. But I'm talking about these $5 Native Americans. Probably what you talking about, brother. They cannot show that they Native Americans. That's what I'm saying. If they can't prove they Native Americans, how in the world can we say they gay? But that's crazy. Yeah.
Another thing too, does Native American necessarily denote Indian so-called Indian tribes? You get what I'm asking?
Yeah, because when the English or whatever Spanish came over here, a lot of them thought they was in, especially Christian Lum thought he was in India.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I get what you're saying. That right there is another lie, Jaboni. So yeah, you're right. Do they know Indian tribes? So
Yeah, I told y'all about that brother I met when I was going to school in Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was dark skinned brother with features of Native American. He told us that his 3 times great grandfather was told by an Indian chief to mate with different women in their tribe.
Wow.
But no, that was well into when our people was assimilated in with them, because they was trying to, everybody try to mate with us as a means to preserve themselves.
Wow.
you look at a lot of I was looking at this video, not to get off topic, but this Gentile female was asked would she prefer black men or white men. She said black men, because black people are pretty much in tune with the earth, and she wants her legacy to continue on.
Hello.
That's what she said.
All right, sorry about that, brother. I was just talking. I was listening to my daughter calling me. I'm like, oh god. Yeah, I can. Yeah, everybody want to do the. Even today, they want to do the same thing. You know, they want to mix with us to preserve the seed, and you know, they need to tell the truth about that. Look on the screen. You see that, brother Banyard? You see that? You still here? You see it, brother? You look at this. Tell her, hey, I wish I had time, but I got to go to a football game right here in my town. I got to go check out these kids play. But if I had time, I would like. I don't know what this guy talking about.
Wesley Curry.
Yeah, he looked like he the dude off of Back to the Future. I mean, what the world?
Said sad and delicious that night. Satan said, sad and delicious. I strongly suggest you do not. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Rightly discern the word. And this what he said, this right here. This what he said. You believe Satan God, really? We don't use Jesus, dude. You're on the wrong page. This is not Christianity. That's what he's talking about.
Well,
I seen a video earlier today showing that a TikTok, this guy, he's pretty good breaking it down how Jesus, you know, the white string of hair dude basically is Satan, the image that the Bible talks about, which I agree with that. Yeah.
Say that again.
I seen a video today. This guy, he was breaking down the image of Jesus, which is Satan. He said the image is Satan or Hashatan. And I agree with the guy that's basically went around the world. And he said Jesus and Yeshua is two different messiahs. Same thing what Paul was talking about. I agree with that. Wonder where you doing? Walking, brother?
Yeah, I get my walk in every day.
Oh, shucks. Oh, man. I got my weights back. I've been lifting weights, but I ain't been walking. I need to start.
Look, I got my walking stick.
Uh-oh, Moses. Well, what do you do? Return to a snake.
I'm going to drop it.
You know what? They said Moses took off running. He made haste.
Look, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to do the same thing. This is what I got it for right there.
Yeah, stupid old dog. But yeah, man, it was pretty good. I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about the comparison. And that's something, you know, I'm gonna get a little deep more in it. Brother Banyard said he got a brother went deep in it, proving that Mexicans and you know, Native Americans not Israelites. But when we start doing a comparison of where the tribe's supposed to be and what the prophecies say, then we can break it down. We can break it down and we can see that. But I'm not gonna I just wanted to do this one. Because that right there is the main one to me, because if Gad haven't overcame the truth, that's not going to help us. And we know South Africa have overcame the truth back in the 90s. So that's why I did that, because I don't want our people thinking that they're sitting around waiting on, you know, the Native Americans to overcome the truth, and that ain't happening. And that's kind of you know, crazy. All right, well,
I was gonna ask when has that ever happened in their history? If this is their land, you know,
Yeah.
they protest just as much as we do every year over their land. But
Right. But you know one interesting thing? It don't say that they was gonna be in a different land. You see? You notice that?
exactly.
So that's another thing. Like it don't say that. So, but yeah, it's pretty good. But next time we get more into it, maybe you can bring out. And Brother Banyal said he got a video that he can bring out. Lord, I just cut the air conditioner. I'm over here sweating. Said what Jason say, I just want somebody to explain to me if they are mixed with Europeans and Israelite, aka African American, and why don't they look like the Burgess instead of a yeah. Yeah, they sure don't look like us. They look like Asians. Real good questions. I can't explain that. Or I can because they ain't mixed with us. But I'm ready to get off here, y'all. Shalom, Brother Banya. You still on here, man? I don't know. He might be going to work. But I'm ready to get off here. So this just a provoking thought. Who do the prophecy of Gad, Genesis 49:19, Deuteronomy chapter 33 and 20, who do the prophecy of Gad fits best? To us, it fits the Zulu nation, South Africa. Shalom and peace and blessings.